exercise, hi little doggy, is that it's not pushed through pain like other perhaps philosophies are with some exercise approaches. So if you do experience anything in the body that feels uncomfortable or painful, don't do it. Don't push yourself through it. Pause and backtrack into something that feels more comfortable in your body. So another pose, or feel free to adjust as needed. Hi, welcome. Oh, we got a fun background there. That's the Golden Gate Bridge. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
That's my home state.
I've always wanted to visit, but
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up in California. I'm in Pennsylvania now, but that's where I was born and raised. All right, welcome. So we're at about 4:30, and we'll practice for, actually I wasn't told an end time. I expect about an hour-ish is the expectation. If that doesn't work for you and you need to go, feel free to do that. I'm at home, just like all of us, and I have 4 pets and 3 kids and a husband, so who knows if anything will be through here, hopefully not. All right, welcome. So today we're just going to focus on just kind of moving energy, getting rid of some stagnancy. I'm sure this has been perhaps sitting more than we might normally do. So we'll just get stretching and moving and opening up our body a little bit. Hello, Kate.
Hi.
Welcome. So I'm Shana. I usually teach yoga locally at West End Yoga, and Living Room Yoga is primarily where I am. I do teach gentle quite often, but I also teach level 2 classes, the more advanced classes. I've been doing yoga for 20 something years, something like that. So we will get started. I know we're all in different places, have different needs. So as I was mentioning before, the biggest thing to remember is to honor your body and what your body needs. So if you need to take a break or go to a different pose, feel free to do that. And for those of you who practice yoga already, if there's a different variation that you like, or some extra pose you want to get into, feel free to do that as well. Okay? You all ready?
Yes.
Okay. So let's just start out in any comfortable position. So it could be if you're seated and that's your most comfortable position, feel free to stay that way. If you like to lay on your back, you can lay on your back or your belly. Anything is fine. So we're just going to start with a little bit of centering and checking in. So however you would like to do that, anything that's comfortable is okay. All right. I'm going to attempt to play music I've not tried, just for the centering part and the end part. Sometimes that helps when our mind is wandering to help us concentrate. So I'll see if this can be heard at all.
And Shana, it's worked pretty well if you put the music either from the computer directly. That's worked out pretty well, or you can put it on a speaker behind you. Just.
Okay. I'm going to see. Can you hear that at all? It's very good.
No.
I hear it on my end.
It's a soft song, so it's coming. Okay? All right. All right, so find a comfortable position, maybe closing the eyes if that feels comfortable to you, and just start to settle in to whatever position you chose. And as you grow more quiet, just take this time to check in and see where you are right now, what's going on in the mind, if the mind is racing or if it's calm. And start to check in with the heart if you notice any emotions that you're experiencing today. Or maybe just a sense of heaviness or lightness. Right, we're so inundated with information and news and external input, and it's good to just take this time to check in and see what we're experiencing on the inside. And start to watch the breath as you inhale. Notice where the inhale travels to. Maybe even place a hand where you feel your inhale going to the most. So maybe you experience the breath in the chest. Maybe you feel it down in the belly. Just notice where the natural breath is moving. Welcome. And just start to grow the breath as you inhale. Breathe a little more deeply. Whatever that might mean to you. Maybe that means that you're breathing down into the belly, letting the breath rise up. Maybe you're just slowing down the breath. And if you are particularly anxious, if a lot's on your mind, sometimes just counting the breath, adding a count as you inhale, maybe to a count of 4 or 5, and then just exhaling to the same count. So we start with a focus on breath and centering in yoga, because yoga is all about connection, reconnecting with ourselves and connecting to our breath. And when we're focusing on our breath and become aware of how our breath is connected to how we're feeling and how we're thinking, we're able to use our breath as a tool to help us feel calm and peaceful when there's chaos or something unsettling or stress happening in our lives. So wherever you are, we'll take 3 of our deepest breaths, inhaling deeply, maybe exhaling out the mouth. Just another 2 breaths, breathing your own pace at your own rate. And when you're ready, maybe opening the eyes. And wherever you are, if you're seated, just start to move your hands, maybe turn your head side to side. If you're lying down, also doing the same, pointing and flexing the feet, just starting to wake up the body with some movement. And as you explore the movement, just become aware of anything that you might notice about the body. So maybe you notice an area of tenderness, or perhaps an area that's a little stiff or tight. And if you're laying on your back, we'll start to bring the feet onto the mat, bend the knees. If you're sitting up, we'll recline onto our backs, just to start. So just laying down on the back. Feet are directly under the knees. And the ankles, the feet are about a hip distance apart. Good. Yeah. And just feel the back body connecting with your mat, noticing the head, the back of the head, the shoulders relaxing down. Feel the back body growing heavy. And start to turn the head as far to the right as is comfortable. Just roll the head over to the right. And once you land there, press a little more actively, press the head into the floor, into your mat. And then slowly recoil the head back through center. And exhale all the way to the left. Again, press the side of the head more actively into the mat. And roll the head back through center. And do one more either side, moving at your pace. And the next time you come back through center, pause there, reconnecting with the breath. We're gonna inhale and reach the arms up overhead as you breathe in. Maybe all the way overhead if that's comfortable. If your shoulders are not feeling that, you can just raise your hands towards the ceiling. And now we'll connect our breath to movement. So as you inhale, your arms will come overhead. As you exhale, start to sweep the hands down at your side. Inhale, press actively into the feet. Reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, sweep the hands back down at your side. And just move at your pace. If you want to add a hip lift, as you inhale, maybe your hips lift up as you reach arms overhead. And exhale, bring it back down. We'll do that 2 more times. If you find you really want to hold the bridge pose, lifting the hips high, feel free to stay there instead of moving. And next time you exhale and land on your mat, we're going to draw the right knee into chest. And just notice the right side, the right hip. Maybe circle the ankle. Maybe offer some movement, moving the knees side to side or some circles. And pausing in movement, lengthening through the spine so your chin is slightly drawing towards chest, keeping the spine nice and long. We're going to extend opposite leg, left leg extends straight. And start by floating the leg, press through the heel, let the toes draw back towards you, and then rest the heel down. So keeping that left leg nice and long. Reconnect with your inhale, breathe in deeply. And as you exhale, draw the knee in as close to your body as possible. Pause when you find some resistance. Hold that pause, breathe in. And exhale, maybe you're able to draw the knee in just a little closer. We'll take another deep breath. And again, exhale the knee in closer to the body. And then release. We'll just keep our right hand on that shin. And as you inhale, sweep the knee out to the side. And exhale, bring the knee back to the center. So just working with your breath at your pace. Inhale, open, and exhaling at center. If you'd like to extend your leg, if that's something that will feel good in your body, feel free to do that instead. Have a straight leg as you move it side to side. Once you come back to center, we're going to pause there, interlace the hands behind the thigh. And inhale, we're going to straighten the leg towards the ceiling, flex the foot. Exhale, bends the knee any amount. So you can bend it completely and relax it. Or you can keep the foot flexed and just draw the knee in towards chest. So inhale to extend and lengthen. And exhale, bends the knee any amount. And we'll do that 2 to 3 more times, just finding your rhythm with your breath. The next time you extend and lengthen, we're going to pause and hold. Press the heel up. And then point the toes. And just go back and forth between flexing and pointing the foot. And next time you flex your foot, pause there. Press the heel up towards the ceiling. Really get a nice stretch. And then exhale, bends the knee. Interlace the hands around the shin or the thigh and draw the knee in once again. And we'll release the right foot back on the mat. Bring the left foot next to it, bending the knees towards the ceiling, just like we started. And just take a breath, noticing the right side. and the left side. So notice if one feels a little different, maybe a little more open on the right side, hopefully. And when you're ready, we'll draw the left knee into chest. We'll just do the same thing on this side. So when you're ready, just starting to explore, checking in the left side, noticing how close the knee is coming towards the body. If there's any tightness or resistance here on the left. Maybe circling the ankle. We're offering some movement with the knee. Just exploring that side, that hip. And when you're ready, finding a point to slow down and pause, we'll interlace the hands around the shin or behind the thigh. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, just guide the knee closer to the body. Again, pause there, take a nice in-breath, exhale, guide a little bit closer. And one more breath. Good. When you're ready, we'll bring the left hand onto the left shin and windshield wiper that knee side to side. Just finding a rhythm that works with your breath. And again, if it feels good to extend your leg, you can do that. Some of you are doing yoga near people though, so just be mindful. If it feels good to hold a particular pose, feel free to do that. We'll just take another breath or two. And eventually slowing the movement, bringing the knee back to center, interlacing the hands behind your thigh. And as you inhale, extend the leg, flex the foot. As you exhale, bend the knee any amount. So it could be really relaxed, or you can keep your leg engaged. Inhale, straighten and lengthen. Exhale to bend. Continuing to move with your breath. And next time you inhale and you extend that foot, go ahead and pause there and take a moment to flex the foot, point the toe, just kind of going back and forth. So we're waking up the hip, now we're waking up the calves. On your next exhale, find a point where you can bend that knee once again. Interlace the hands around the shin or behind the thigh. Take a big in-breath. Exhale, draws the knee in. We're going to extend that right leg long. Flex through that foot. Press through the heel. Let that right leg hover. And then relax the right heel down. And when you're ready, we'll extend both legs long. Bring your hands to your side. Flex through the feet as you inhale. Exhale, relax the feet. Flex and relax. And we'll do one more flex and relax. And then go ahead and bring the feet wide on your mat. So maybe finding the corners of the mat with the feet. Reach the arms out to the side, creating space. So think of creating a star shape on the floor. And just reach through the heels, press through the heels. Imagine your legs growing long. Reach through the fingers, through the fingertips. As you inhale, really actively stretch. As you exhale, just relax, fall back on the supports beneath you. So inhale to engage and reach and stretch. And then relax. And one more time, engage, reach, stretch, and then relax. We're going to bring our feet together at the center of the mat. And this time, reach the arms overhead. So a couple options. I'll sit up just to show you for those who are visual. You can bring your arms up overhead and interlace the fingers. Or you can grab opposite elbows. And we're going to walk the feet and the shoulders over to one side. So just a crescent stretch. So we're creating the shape of a crescent shape or a banana shape, opening up the side body. So take a nice deep breath, breathing into the side ribs, maybe crossing the inner ankle over the outer ankle. Just creating a little length, opening up the side of the body. Take one more breath there. And slowly come back through center. Take a pause to inhale and then exhale. Switch to the other side. Take a nice deep breath. And next inhale, we'll come back through center, release the hands, reach through the fingers, flex through the feet, and as you exhale, draw the knees to chest, wrap the hands around, and maybe offer some rocking side to side or some circling of the knees, massaging the back. And when you're ready, we're going to sit up, and you can either yogi roll up, or you can roll onto your side, use your hands, and support yourself up to sit. Welcome, everyone. So if you do have a blanket, have it nearby. You can also sit on it as we sit, facing each other. Sometimes that's more comfortable. Now I'm sitting cross-legged. You do not need to sit that way if that is not comfortable on your knees. So feel free to sit any way that's comfortable. All right. So we'll just do a few side stretches. So first find your seat now that we're upright. Take a moment to connect with the body once again. If you feel a little detached from your physical body and what you're experiencing, maybe close the eyes and just start to shift the shoulders forward and back and side to side, just to feel the weight, how it changes in the seat. And you'll notice as you shift, there are different ways the weight moves as well in your seat. So try to find that spot, that just right spot where you feel really heavy and rooted. And once you find that, go ahead and pause the shoulders. Imagine that your spine is growing nice and long, crown is reaching towards the ceiling. And this will be our neutral seat. So inhale, we're going to reach the arms up. Just create some space in the spine. So really reach the fingers like you're trying to touch something just above your head. So feel the ribs getting nice and expansive as you reach. And if you notice your shoulders start to climb towards your ears, just soften them a little bit. Take another deep inhale. And this time as you exhale, bring your right hand down to your side. Reach that left hand and arc over as you exhale. Inhale, float back up to center. We're going to move in and out of the stretch. Exhale, back into it. Inhale, back up. This time you can hold it. Exhale. So go as far into the stretch as you want to go. Now your gaze can be at the ground. It can be up towards the hand. It really is up to you and what is comfortable on your neck. If you feel a little anxious and need some grounding, looking down might be helpful. If you need a little uplifting, looking up might help with that. So we'll take one more breath. Reach for the fingers even more. And then bring your gaze down. We're going to shift this top shoulder down towards the ground. So just a slight turn. And you're just going to do that to shift the stretch. So your stretch is going to happen from the bottom of the ribs towards the hip. You'll feel that more there. So reach for the fingers once again. Reach, reach, reach. And then inhale, come all the way up. Bring both arms up. Lengthen through the whole back. And as you exhale, left hand's gonna come down to the side. We're gonna tip into the stretch just as before. Inhale, sweep it back up. And find your flow with your breath. The next time you tip back in your stretch, go ahead and hold it there. So that outer hip is pressing down and away, reaching through the finger and really growing, creating some space in the side of the ribs. When you're ready, go ahead and bring the gaze down, turn the shoulder down slightly, so you're shifting your chest towards the ground more. Reach through the fingers. And next inhale, bring yourself all the way back up, reach the arms overhead. Good. Exhale, want to bring the hands behind you. And a couple options here. If your shoulders are not feeling very awake, you can bring your hands just to the mat. Or you can interlace the hands and roll the shoulders back. So either way, we're still rolling the shoulders towards each other, lifting the chest. If your hands are grounded, you could lift the hips as well. If your hands are interlaced, you can start to draw the hands away from the low back. So take a nice deep breath here. And release the hands. I'm going to come into a flow while seated. So take a moment to extend your left leg, keep your right knee bent. I don't know if you can see that very well. Let's see back. There. Okay. So if you do have a blanket or a cushion nearby, you can keep it under your seat. You can roll it and put it under the knee if your hip is still waking up. So some options. We're not going to hold the pose very long. We're going to move in and out of it. So when you're ready, we're going to inhale, reach the arms up, feel the length through the spine. As you exhale, hinge forward over that extended leg. Inhale, reach up, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, turn towards the knee. Open the arms, maybe bring them down, so we're twisting. Inhale, back up. Keep the length in the spine stays straight. Hinge forward. Inhale, back up. And twist. Yeah, good. We'll do it one more time. And twist to the right. Once you twist, go ahead and pause there. Root down through your seat, press into that back hand, lengthen through the spine, let your crown reach towards the ceiling. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, turn the chin towards the front shoulder. Tuck the chin down towards the shoulder and start to feel a stretch in the neck on the right side. If you're not feeling a stretch, you're going to shrug the back shoulder down even more. Take another deep breath. And on your next inhale, just bring the head back up, back to neutral. Unwind in your stretch. You'll bring both feet together in a Baddha Konasana, toddler's pose, or butterfly pose. So feet are together. They can be far away from you or close to you. Just find something that feels good. You won't stay here too long. So hands can be around the ankles, around the big toes. And take a moment, rooting down to the seat, just grow nice and tall in the spine. Take a nice inhale. As you exhale, drop the chin towards the chest. And breathe into the upper back, the shoulders. If you practice yoga and like a forward fold here, you're welcome to go there. We'll be here for another 2 breaths. When you're ready, next inhale, just find your way back up, heads back at neutral. Keep your left knee, left leg as it is, extend the right leg straight. And we'll just flow on this other side when you're ready. And you might need some props on this side that you didn't. So if you wanted to add a blanket under your knee or sit up on a blanket. So if you notice your low back is starting to round, you might want to sit up on a blanket. Okay. So when you're ready, inhale, we're going to reach the arms up, find our flow. Exhale, hinge forward. Keep the spine long. Inhale, reach up. And when we exhale, we twist left. Inhale, reach up. So continue at your pace with your breath. And next time you exhale to the left, we're going to pause there, hold the twist. So join us when you get there. We're nice and tall in the spine, and then exhale, bring the chin towards the front shoulder, tuck the chin, shrug the back shoulder, get a nice neck stretch there. And if that's too much, if you have a lot of tension there, you can just go into the twist, that's okay. Next, inhale brings the head back to neutral, slowly unwind. We're gonna take, this time, our knees over to the right. So mermaid legs, let me see if you can see here. There we go. So I don't know if you can see, but I have my right knee down. My right foot is in front of my left knee. And that's how I'm sitting. So I'm kind of seated on my right side. My left side's lifted a little bit, okay? We're gonna come into a flow here as well. Right hand's gonna come to the side of the hip. And we'll start just with some side stretches. So just as before, flowing in and out. And you can stay here, or we're gonna do 3 more breaths. And if you want to make them hip lifts, you're gonna keep your hand grounded as you inhale, sweep the arm, lift the hips. So depending on how far you go, it might almost look like a bit of a back bend as you reach the arm back. So it's more circling the arm, sweeping it overhead, and circling it back down. All right. Good, so wherever you are, getting one more. And slowly lower it down. All right. Bring the feet over to the other side. Come into mermaid legs. Knees now toward the left. And you know where we're going, so if you want to go there right away, feel free. So left hand comes to the side. Inhale, find your side stretch. Come in and out. Adding the hip lifts anytime, if that's where you want to go. Yeah. Wherever you are, just take one more cycle. And then we'll come down. Beautiful. All right. We're going to come onto hands and knees. Again, this is where a cushion might help if your knees are a little sensitive. So actually, I'm going to use a cushion. I usually teach with a lot of props. I love using props. So, all right, so we'll come into a tabletop. Hands are going to be under your shoulders. Knees are about hip distance apart. And just take a peek between the legs. If you happen to see your feet, just move your ankles behind the knees so you don't really see them anymore. Okay? Spread through the fingers. And then take a moment, maybe closing the eyes, and feel your tailbone reaching. Imagining like your tailbone's trying to reach the wall behind you. So when you do that, when you lengthen the tail, you're going to feel the low belly pull in a little bit. And that's what we want. Feel the crown reaching towards the opposite wall. The neck is nice and long. This is our neutral spine. And then just start to explore this pose. So for those who've done yoga, you might do cats and cows. This might be a familiar spot for you. But you could also just do some leaning into the hips, Especially if you've done a lot of sitting, that might feel really good. You can do some circling around, so just exploring our bodies and where we might be holding some stagnant energy, shifting. And we'll start to slow the movement and find stillness, come back to your neutral. And then go ahead and tuck your right toes. If you're not sure about right and left, it doesn't much matter. Tuck one set of toes, slide that foot directly behind you, and press through the heel. So just so you can see better, that's all we're doing. Just pressing into the heel. You can rock in and out of it. You start to feel the calf waking up. Maybe the hips starting to open a little. And when you're ready, we're going to float that right foot up, parallel to the ground. And as you exhale, bend the knee, bring it towards the elbow. So you can keep it low. Inhale, extend and straighten that leg straight behind you. And exhale, bend the knee towards the elbow. Inhale to straighten the leg. And this time, when you bend the elbow, we're going to hold it there and let the foot come towards the hand. And help it up if you need to. Yeah, good. So land the hands on the inside of the foot, and once you come here, just offer some movement. So it could be some circling of the hips, it could be rocking in and out, straightening that front leg, and then bending it again. And just waking up the hips. And starting to slow any movement you're making, take that foot and we're just going to heel toe it towards the center. So bringing the knee under the body. You got it. All right. That back foot, we're going to pivot. So now we're facing the side of the mat. So for those who are familiar with yoga, this is warrior two. We just have our back knee down, that's it. All right, so take a moment and bring your hand to the inside of the thigh and just allow the knee to open up a little bit more. So our knee has a tendency to want to go inside, just help it open. You'll start to feel the stretch more in the hip. Then take this back hip and we're going to draw it back a little bit more. So this front hip, right hip's pressing forward, back hip is pressing back. Good. You'll feel the hips firing up a little more when you do that. When you're ready, I'm going to keep the forearm on the front thigh, reach the left hand overhead. Good. Yes, I realize you're not able to see me very well. Good. So reach to that side body. And it's up to you what you want to do here. You can float in and out, inhale back up, exhale back down like we've been doing. You can hold the stretch. We'll take 2 more breaths, whether you're floating in and out or whether you're holding the stretch. The next time you're in your full side stretch, for those who are floating in and out, we're going to reach to the fingers, just as we did when we were seated. We're going to turn the left shoulder down towards the ground slightly. Bring your gaze towards your foot and reach to the fingers a little bit more. Reach, reach, reach. And then slowly bring that left hand down. Right hand's going to frame that foot. You could pivot the back foot back behind you. Good. And we'll take a moment and just find some movement in and out of a lunge here. If it feels really good to linger, either in the lunge or maybe straightening the leg and do a runner's stretch, either one, you can linger if it feels good. And start to slow the movement. And we'll bring the hands to the inside, heel to that foot, back to the side of your mat. Bring your hands back in. And we'll pause here. You can go back to movement if that felt better. Or if you like to practice lizard, I know some of you said you did yoga and you have a lizard variation that you want to do right now, feel free to go there. Some people like to go lower on their forearms. Yeah. So if you're holding this pose, now it's okay if we kind of move in and out, that your knee might not be lined up with your ankle, but if you're holding it for a little bit of time, you might want to make sure that your ankle is under the knee. Yeah. If you find your knee wants to turn out, just let your toes go in the same direction. All right. And we'll reconnect with our breath. Take another 2 or 3 breaths. And as you breathe, just checking in to see if there's any area where you might be gripping in the body or tensing. Can you soften there? Can you relax the face? Can you release in the outer hip? And when you're ready, if you are down, go ahead and bring the hands back underneath you. Support yourself to come back up. We're going to shift the hips towards that back knee and just work that right knee back underneath you, returning to our tabletop, however you want to get there. Yeah. Once you arrive, find some movement here. So it could be a child's pose, letting your seat come towards your heels. It could be cat and cow. Whatever you're craving, try and listen to what your body needs right now before we switch sides. All right. When you're ready, we'll inhale back into tabletop whenever you're ready. And we'll switch with our left side now. So when you're ready, tucking the left toe, sliding the left foot straight back behind you. Pressing through the heel, maybe coming in and out of the stretch if you want. So starting to feel the calf waking up. And check in with your breath again. Notice if it changed. And then pausing any movement as you inhale this time, sweep that leg up parallel to the ground. Keep that low belly firmed up and engaged. As you exhale, knee comes towards the elbow. Inhale, extends the leg. Exhale, knee towards the elbow. Inhale to extend. And this time as you bring knee to elbow, hug it close, and then allow the foot to come down, and you can help it up a little bit further. So you want your feet near your hands. There you go, or your left foot near your hand. There you go. So bring the hands to inside, and again, find some movement here. So we're not holding this one, we're just exploring. You can circle the hips, or just rock in and out, slide the hips forward and back. And eventually slowing the movement, we'll pause and bring that foot right towards center. Find your way into center. There you go. Good. So knees over the ankle, toes are pointing forward. And then this back leg, left foot's gonna pivot so that your hips now are facing the long side of your mat. Good. Notice the knee naturally kind of wants to tip inward. So use the back of the hand and just guide the knee open. You'll feel your hips starting to get more of a stretch. That back hip's pressing backward. This hip is hugging inward. So we're trying to keep straight and flat and lined up with the side of the mat. Once you're ready, bend to the forearm, reach the arm overhead, come into a side angle stretch. Yeah. And you can stay there again, or you can float in and out. Inhale up, exhale back. So whichever feels better. Your gaze can be down or up at your hand. We'll take one more deep breath. And then come back into your side stretch if you're floating in and out. Hold it there. Turn that top shoulder down, angle your chest downward a little bit, and reach through the fingers even more. So you're going to shift the stretch now to your QL. And notice as you're stretching, if your breath changes or if you're tensing the face, trying to relax in the face. And then reach that right hand all the way down, frame the foot. We're going to pivot that back knee. And then heel toe this foot out towards the side of the mat again. Find your lizard pose. So again, we can come in and out of our stretch. And then just find a lizard pose that works for you. So you might hold it here, hands on the mat, staying up high. Some of you might want to lower down. Or if you want to keep moving in and out of the stretch, that's fine too. So if you are holding it, you might want to see if your knee is over the ankle. That might be more comfortable for holding it for any length. And take another deep breath. And if you're lower down, as you inhale, just bring your hands back underneath you. I forgot to add the runner stretch for you. So we'll heel toe that foot back towards the center and just move in and out of your low lunge and your runner stretch. Hello, kitty. If you find there's a stretch you want to really hold, you can hold either one. So I'm just guiding. Feel free to go where your body wants to go. And then take a moment, come back to your lunge. We'll heel toe that foot wide. And then sweep the knee back underneath, back to our tabletop. Bring your hands back on the mat. And find either child's pose, or if you want to do some cats and cows, leaning into the hips, we can do that for another breath or two. Next inhale, go ahead and bring yourselves back up and do one more hip opener. So spreading through the fingers, tuck the right toes again, extend the right leg straight behind us. There you go. Toes are on the mat. Take a big inhale here. As you exhale, and sweep the leg across the body behind. Okay. And then inhale, sweep the leg out wide, out to the side of the hip. And just tracing kind of a semicircle behind you. Your gaze can be down at the mat, or you can follow the path of your foot, looking at your foot over to the right and then over to the left. The next time you inhale that leg out to the side, we're going to pause there. Plant the foot flat, toes face forward. Good. Walk the hands over to the side where your knee is down. And let your right arm float up. And you can bring it overhead and you can stay there, or you can move the arm up and overhead and kind of float in and out of the stretch. And go ahead and hold the side stretch. Reach through those fingers, press through that outer foot, and then start to turn the right shoulder down towards the ground. Bring your gaze down. Start to feel the QL stretch. Reach through the fingers even more. And then bring that right hand down. Walk the hands towards the front of the mat. Keep the hands here, leg extended. Hips can be up, or you can start to sink the hips back down. That's kind of a deep stretch. So if it's a little too deep, you can keep yourself upright and just take a breath or two here. Or you could sink your seat back for an extended leg child's pose. Take one more deep breath. Next, inhale, bring yourself back up. And sweep that foot back behind you as you exhale. Once you cross the leg behind you, we're gonna land that knee. So you'll see my knees are crossed. Walk your hands a little bit ahead of you and just reach the seat back until you feel a stretch. Next inhale, come back up onto the hands, bring them back towards the front. Tuck the back toes, right toes tuck. Sweep that leg straight back behind you, back behind the hip. Press into the heel, and then bring the right knee back underneath you, back for tabletop. We'll do the other side, left toes tuck, extend that left leg long. And find your wag the tail, so exhale, sweep the leg behind you. Inhale out to the left. And just tracing a circle with the foot. Noticing if this side feels any different than the right side. And the next time you inhale that leg out to the side, we're gonna pause there, plant the foot firmly. Feel that outer edge of the foot pressing down towards the ground. Walk the hands away from that extended leg. Right hand stays, roll that left shoulder open, reach up. And maybe overhead. And stay there, or you can float the arm back and forth. So just as before, gaze can be up at the hand, it can be down at the floor, be somewhere in between if your neck doesn't feel good in one of those positions. So reach through those fingers, we're gonna come into our side stretch. Roll that top shoulder down, bring your gaze down, reach a little bit more. And then land that left hand, walk the hands forward. Keep that leg extended and maybe sink the hips back, or just walk the hands forward, keep the hips over the knee. And take another deep breath. And when you're ready, bring the hands back underneath you. Take an inhale as you exhale, we're gonna sweep that foot back behind, cross the legs, land the knees. You can see my knees there. And walk the hands away from the knees, a little farther from you. Relax the chest towards the ground, lean into the hips. Nice. So if your hips aren't feeling this, you can always untangle the legs and just come into a regular puppy dog pose. Your next inhale, bring the hands back underneath you. Tuck the left toes, sweep that leg behind you, and then bring yourself back into your tabletop. And you can, any movement here, find some cat's cows, lean into the hips. And then eventually we'll come down into a child's pose. So bringing the seat back to the heels. Good. When you're ready, start to walk the hands forward, come onto the belly. So hands are stacked, elbows are wide. Rest the hands on, or rest the head on the hands. Feet can be as wide as the mat, if that feels okay. And just take a moment, find a deep breath. Exhale out the mouth. Good. And we'll slowly roll onto our backs, or if you like to be on your belly instead, feel free to stay here. We'll just take a few minutes in a Shavasana, final resting pose. So if you like to be on your belly, stay here. If you like to be on your back, you can roll over. If you're on your back and you don't feel comfortable with your low back, you can bend your knees, plant the feet. Just rest your arms at the side of your body. So once you arrive there, checking back in with the breath. Maybe taking a few deep, full breaths. Inhaling deeply, sighing out the breath as you exhale. With each exhale, just relaxing the back body even more. Start to invite a deeper breath. And maybe as you take in your breath, notice if there's any shift in your natural breath compared to the beginning of practice. The more attuned we become to our breath, again, the more we can use it as a tool. And starting to feel the body, maybe turning the head side to side like we did at the start of practice, just noticing the neck and any tension there. Starting to wake up the arms, the legs, reaching through the fingers and the toes. And maybe offering some bigger movement, so maybe drawing the knees into chest or bending the knees, letting them sway side to side. And eventually when you're ready, we'll come up to sit. If you want to get there, you might roll onto your side. I always enjoy that transition. I take a few breaths there sometimes. So we always end with Shavasana, the pose where we really release and let go. Because yoga is about practicing life, right? Coming to the mat, practicing the challenges of life and different ways to respond to them, and then letting it go at the end and knowing that we have a chance to start again. So we'll end with one more breath together. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Bring all the positive benefits of your practice into the hands, down into the heart. And we end with a phrase that means the spirit and light in me recognizes the light in you, and that we're all connected and we're all one. So thank you for joining me, joining us together in this online session. Namaste. Thank you all.
Thanks, Shana. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much. This was so much fun.
Yeah, we'll have this on Tuesday mornings at 10, Thursdays at 4:30, and Saturdays at 10. So if you guys need anything, links for the sessions, let us know.
Okay. Thank you so
All right.
much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate
Thanks,
it.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Take care. Have a great night.
You too.